Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. I'm here to give my quick review and observations of the Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying session. And before we head into my observations of the qualifying session, I would like to give my overall review and my overall thoughts of the qualifying session. So yeah, the session was just tricky and it was pretty much impossible to predict the grip levels of the track as multiple drivers were just locking up and sliding off track. The slight drizzle at sector 2 really added to the thrill and the unpredictability factor, making the qualifying session super interesting. So yes, now with my overall thoughts and quick review of the qualifying session in and of itself, let's head into my qualifying observations. Perez, man, I'm just lost of words, and honestly, I couldn't say anything more about the situation than misfortune, because this is just poor timing for him to be having such incidents. As I said before, I've run out of excuses, but honestly, this session was just super hard to predict the grip levels, so I couldn't blame him that much for trying to be quick. And also Max Verstappen came on the radio to tell his race engineer that it's pretty much impossible to find lap times in these track conditions, as Checo was literally having his incident. So yes, it's going to be another comeback story just like last year, but the only difference is that the RB20 is not going to have the pace advantage over the field like the RB19 did, so it's gonna be a lot difficult this time out. Let's just hope that he can make it work, and let's pray that he can have a clean weekend at Spa, because he really needs one before heading into the summer break to have any kind of defense on his side to be retained with the team for the rest of the season, at least. And I can't believe it has boiled down to this point. It's just sad and pretty much borderline depressing to see him go through this phase, because this is not the Sergio Perez that we all know and love, and I don't know what's happening with him, but he really needs to snap out of it. So after the session was green flagged for the Sergio Perez crash, pretty much everyone went back out on track apart from Alpine, who decided it would be better to leave both the cars in the garage, as they thought no one is going to improve with a slight drizzle. But I think the smartest thing for the team to have done would be to send both the cars out, because literally everyone is out on track. They're not going to lose anything. So by leaving both the cars in the garage, both the Alpines got knocked out in Q1 on a weekend in which they looked pretty quick. I feel like they could have qualified somewhere in the top 13, so it was an absolute bottle job from Alpine. Well, Hamilton safely made it into Q2 after the red flag for Sergio Perez's crash. Russell got knocked out in Q1, as I think the team just failed to fuel the car for the entire session. So yeah, I guess it was a bit of a mismanagement from Mercedes. After all the talk of being prepared to take up the challenge of being a Red Bull driver and is ready to take the fight to Max Verstappen, this is a horrible way for Yuki Tsunoda to follow up. He was doing pretty good in the qualifying session up until that point. I think the car just caught up on the curb with the skid plate as he ran wide, causing for that incident, so it was just unfortunate for Yuki Tsunoda. Max Verstappen, despite qualifying P3 for the race tomorrow, was not happy with the performance of the car. As riding on board, you could see that the car was literally understeering through the sector 1 before it correcting itself for the rest of the lap. But yeah, considering that Red Bull brought a sizable upgrade package to the Hungarian Grand Prix, this does not look good. And it seemed like the car just didn't provide enough grip that Max Verstappen would like for him to pull an incredible lap together. So yes, McLaren, after their disappointment at the British Grand Prix, has finally played all their cards right for them to lock out the front row for the Hungarian Grand Prix race tomorrow in a dominating fashion. Walking into the weekend, I expected both McLaren and Ferrari to be really strong at this track. Though Ferrari's performance in the recent races has been pretty hampered, it was mostly down to the overcharged downforce load on an inferior suspension, which I expected not to be much of an issue around Hungaroring, considering it's mostly low to medium speed corners. So I really expected Ferrari to be right up there, but again, they were playing catch up to McLaren, Red Bull and Mercedes. But McLaren, as I expected, performed really well around this track, because Hungaroring has always been really kind to the McLaren car even in the past. So considering their recent run of form, I really expected McLaren to be the benchmark to beat. But my only concern was whether the team would be able to pull everything together to execute the race weekend to perfection. And to this point, so far, they've done a brilliant job. Both the McLaren cars are starting ahead of 18 cars, so they have the best opportunity to rack up another race win. at least bare minimum, if not for a 1-2 finish. So yeah, McLaren so far has done a brilliant job, but the points are scored on the race. So let's see what they have in store for us tomorrow. I also would like to make a quick mention on Logan Sargent, who has been on a brilliant run of form in the last couple of races. I mean, his qualifying pace has really improved. For him to just qualify a couple of tenths off of his teammate around this track is a brilliant job. Though he's still a bit crash happy, I feel like his pace improvement will really back him up. I hope he can continue to do well in the race tomorrow as well, and I hope he can continue this trend for the rest of the season for him to make a solid case for himself to be retained for the 2025 season. So yes guys, these are my thoughts, observations and quick review of the Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying session, and I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and let me know down in the comments on what were your thoughts on the qualifying session and what you expect out of the race tomorrow. I'm curious to know, so leave it down in the comments. With that being said, subscribe to the Renmaster channel if you haven't already, and also hit that bell icon while you're at it so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And until next time, it's me Vinesh from Renmeister, and I'm out. Love you guys, stay safe, peace.